this short video, we are talking about how big the audiences are of the podcast that we may pitch you to.
Jess, do you ever get asked that question?
All the time.
All the time. What do you tell people?
Well, it's one of our most frequently asked questions, actually. And what I tell people is that we really don't know. But you should never answer a question with, I don't know, because immediately people are going to think, wow, she doesn't know. So.
And they're right.
Yeah, podcast download stats are not public information. So we, unfortunately or fortunately, cannot evaluate how good a show is for our client based on that alone.
Okay.
But we do have some other data to go off of. Number one, we look at their overall online presence, their social media following, their iTunes ratings and reviews, any data that we have for their website. We just had a conversation, is it data or data? Anyway. So we look at the number of followers they have on all the other platforms just to get a sense of how well established they are in their business and their online presence.
We also look at how many episodes they've released to make sure it's a well-established show that's been consistently publishing, so we know that they're not going to lose interest and stop the show. We also know that they've had time to build up a consistent audience.
If a show has been publishing for 50, 100, 150 episodes, we know that they're in it to win it and they're not going to quit. Because I've been interviewed on a podcast that never went live because the podcast host decided to go another direction, and that's 60 minutes of my life that I'll never get back. And that was a show that had not yet launched, so we would never book you on a show that has not yet launched.
Would you say that it's the number of people in the audience or the type of people in the audience that matters more?
Definitely the type, Margie. Thank you so much for asking that
course.
question.
Tell me more.
So with podcast interviews, this is not advertising with direct response results. You want to be in front of the right kinds of listeners, not just a number of listeners, because if the lifetime value of a client for you is pretty high, then just converting one person in the audience is going to give you a great return on your investment. So it's definitely the type of people that are in the audience, not just how many people.